Free agents are moving around. We'll talk about some of the early signings right now on Fantasy Football Today in 5. And it starts with Russell Wilson as he is going to the Pittsburgh Steelers. Also, Jeudy traded to the Browns. Baker Mayfield back with the Bucks. I asked you this on the full-length show. Give me a big winner and a big loser from the early action in free agency.
I'll stick with the receivers. I'll say a big winner is Marvin Mims with the Broncos, hopefully getting a quarterback upgrade, or at least over what they have now, but hopefully over Russell Wilson as well. And big loser will be JSN. Not that I don't think he could still perform well, but I was really hoping for Tyler Lockett to leave the Seahawks, and we see a JSN DK Metcalf starting wide receiver duo there. And so now we're stuck with the same trio. And if Lockett stays healthy and Metcalf stays healthy, it's hard to expect a consistent season of quality production from JSN, who did have some good games when one of the two guys were missing.
Yeah, I didn't really get the chance to talk to you about Marvin Mims, but how about Mims and Sutton? What do you think about them right now?
I think Sutton is in the high-end wide receiver 3 category. Could drop down a few spots depending on what the quarterback situation looks like there. But this is a receiving core that needs, people to get targets. And, Sutton's is a proven guy coming off a 10-touchdown season. Clearly that was with Russell Wilson, who's a veteran. So, if the right quarterback is in place, we know that, Sean Payton has gotten quality production from a big receiver, moving those guys around as well, from Marcus Colston to Michael Thomas to, Sutton again with a career-high 10-touchdown season last year. So I think Sutton will still, end up probably presenting good value. I was, shocked in looking at our last mock draft, the post-Super Bowl one that we did. And I believe he went close to round 10, so that's pretty glaring for somebody that I think could go maybe in the round 6, round 7 range. Mims is a little tougher to trust. As Sean Payton said, we didn't do a good job by him. That's what he said at the combine and getting him on the field more, and definitely a raw product. But again, somebody who's going to hopefully garner some targets with the absence of Jeudy now and right quarterback, hopefully right, opportunity. He could be a great sleeper with a late round pick. They did also bring back Tim Patrick, so we'll see what his health is.
Sutton was the last pick of round 9, so 9-10 turn in that draft that we did. Okay, we got to talk about Russell Wilson. We got to talk about what this means for the Steelers. Who do you like this for? Do you like it for Russ? Do you like it for Pickens? Do you like it for Deontay, Freiermuth? Do you like it for the running backs? Who do you like this for?
I mean, I think for Russ, you just have to say it's a good spot because it's an opportunity to be a starter. So we were kind of questioning would a team give him that chance, and it's still not 100%. I'm sure Mike Tomlin will say all the right things from a team perspective that he's going to compete with Kenny Pickett, but I don't think Russell Wilson goes there with the opportunity not to start. So starting quarterback opportunity gives him the chance to still be a number 2 quarterback. He won't be drafted or shouldn't be considered a number 1 fantasy quarterback coming off a disappointing 2-year run with the Broncos, 10 games over 20 fantasy points in 30 starts for the Broncos. That's pretty alarming in a 2-year stretch. But 341 rushing yards and 3 rushing touchdowns last year. He'll give you some rushing opportunities, which is still good. So if you are inclined to take a second quarterback, he'll be closer to probably QB 20. And ADP would be my guess, and could still be a starter in Superflex and 2 quarterback leagues. Love this for George Pickens. Not that Russell Wilson is in the prime of his career, but we saw him get 10 touchdowns or coax 10 touchdowns out of Cortland Sutton, which was a career high. Pickens has 9 touchdowns in 2 seasons. Big play threat. Russell Wilson still throw the ball down the field a little bit. So as long as Arthur Smith's offense doesn't just hamstring this entire passing game, then I think you look at Pickens as a big winner here, a borderline number 2 receiver. Prefer to draft him as a number 3 guy. But I can see myself reaching for him as early as round 6. Deontay Johnson, if he stays in Pittsburgh, still a number 3 receiver. Hopefully the volume will be there for him. As you noted on our full-length show, he changed his game a little bit in 2023, 14.1 yards per catch. So it can be a little bit more of a downfield threat as well. Don't like this for Pat Freiermuth just because of Russell Wilson's history. He has not done well with tight ends, even though Arthur Smith's offense is good for tight ends. And really, the quarterback situation wasn't going to impact how I feel about the running backs. Arthur Smith is the reason why I do like Najee Harris a little bit more this year than I did last year. Same thing with Jaylen Warren. I think they're both in that 20 to 28 running back range, 20 to 30 if you want to say, just to be a little easier. Najee profiles as the kind of guy that Arthur Smith will use. 3 straight years of at least 255 carries, 1,034 rushing yards, and 7 touchdowns. If he gets that with whatever he does as a pass catcher, that's a number 20-ish type of running back, low-end number 2 type of guy.
All right, in 30 seconds or less, are you changing the rankings of anyone on the Cleveland Browns with the Jerry Jeudy acquisition?
Yes, dropping Amari Cooper because just another guy that's going to take away some targets. Dropping David Njoku. I was already concerned about him with Deshaun Watson and the numbers that those guys had together. Njoku's numbers popped when Joe Flacco's under center. Elijah Moore is undraftable now. And Jeudy, I was hopeful for him to go to a spot where he could be featured a little bit more. That's clearly not going to be the case. So double-digit rounds for him. But Deshaun Watson does get a boost because clearly another pass catcher of significance. So he's not a top 12 quarterback, but he's definitely in the top 15 and would be somebody that if you are taking 2 quarterbacks, this is the type of guy you should take.
Thank you, Jamie Eisenberg. Thank you all for watching and listening. Big week for us here on Fantasy Football Today and FFT in 5. So stay tuned. We'll have a lot of episodes for you to recap all the action. See you soon.